Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 249 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, here with Trevor and Damon. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
I'm tired already. We talked for half an hour before the show even started. And we didn't even talk about the fact that the next episode is 250.
Oh, yeah, we really did.
And like, what the heck do we do at 250?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I was going to mention this. I'm going to talk about my upcoming trip, so that's something people get to look forward to. I know it's not a big thing, but, you know, it is something to look forward to next week.
Is that so? Are you going to talk about that next week? Because then you're not going to be here the week after. Or
Well,
is it 2 weeks after?
I will be here the week after. Maybe.
Okay. Right.
So let's talk about it next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did get a couple listener questions, by the way. I don't know if you saw them, but
and Tom didn't even post them. He is slacking this week.
Here's the thing. I posted the question post at the same time I was writing the rundown. So
I did see that last night.
Yeah.
So I did actually read these listener questions as well on the group.
Yeah. So Nathan says, talk about the Disney umbrella of video games. The new Indiana Jones trailer has me excited. What other games would you like to see come from under the Disney umbrella? I did think that Indiana Jones, like that first person kind of game, like looks pretty cool. You could be like be Indiana Jones, right? I think that's what I saw about it. I didn't see a lot.
So I'm actually not overly prepared for this question.
Yeah, me either, really.
I thought you two were up on this video game stuff all the time.
Well, yes,
I've seen the trailer. But
Disney video games are not that high up in terms of attention. Like
it's true.
There's like every once in a while you'll get something that comes, but for the most part, Disney has been kind of coasting with video games. So
mostly like Star Wars games, I feel like they get the most attention, right?
Yeah, and even the Star Wars games aren't great.
Well, they have the new open world one coming.
Yeah, the last one I heard was
interesting.
good.
But
I'm going to get hate for it. It's not that they're not great. They've had some flops in the Star Wars games.
For me, like EverQuest was just the peak. And like I've just been coming down after that. So really the only video games I play now, I mean, I play mobile and pretty much I only play Clash Royale. That's it. But I play League of Legends. And those are the only two games I really, really play. I mean, I think it would be interesting. I think the Hogwarts game did so well. I'd like to see a Disney game like that. I don't know what umbrella, in terms of IP would work for that. I mean, I guess that's pretty much what we're getting in Star Wars, but, again, I'm not, all into that Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know.
It could make a really fun Gravity Falls game like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
That'd be a cool adventure game.
Yeah, you can make a cool adventure game out of that,
Yeah.
I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah,
like, I enjoyed that Mickey side scroller one that's on Switch.
Illusion Island?
Yeah, that was a fun game. I played that with my wife for a little bit. It was because it was a co-op and we played it for quite a bit. It was fun. I mean, it wasn't like the best game I've ever played, but it was fun.
It's a good Mario type game. That's the thing is that the Disney. I'm going to echo you, David, on this. Is that Disney is not groundbreaking in their video games as much as they're not with their park stuff. So it's hard, right? Because Disney occasionally brings out something decent, but it's usually like after there's
like what was the
other games, right?
What was the first one that was based on Unreal? It was it had no multiplayer, but it was like you were shooting up stormtroopers and bases. It had like a whole storyline, but it was on one of the
Squadron.
What? No,
Squadron?
before that, like way further before that. It was like the first Star Wars game in terms of first person shooter. I forget what it was called.
Okay.
Was it Battle? Yeah, I don't remember if it was Battle Squad. I don't think so, but it had a storyline. It was more story driven than online driven. I don't know. I like that. That was fun.
They also don't make most of their own games, though, too. They have studios make their games for them. I mean,
I mean, they have the Lucas games or whatever that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess this is the thing is that like now they've got or this is what Nathan was talking about is that there is like Disney's kind of starting to publish their own games again. So they are getting other studios to work on them, but they are getting back into kind of like how like Lucasfilm was their publishing studio for a while. they're getting back to doing their own stuff. But I'm looking at the list of upcoming games. It's a lot of mobile games, which
Makes sense.
I'm not saying that's bad, but there's a lot of mobile games out there. Like I said, this is the hard part, is that they're kind of dealing in the space of there's already 50 other games that do the same thing. So why is the Disney version better?
So Trevor, it was the original Battlefront. So Star Wars Battlefront #1.
Oh yeah, I played Battlefront.
Okay, yeah.
Like I thought that was a great game. Like that was, but again, it was based off of something else, right? It was just a Star Wars version of something else. I thought they did extremely well with it. But
and occasionally they do get lightning in the ball like that. Like for me, it was like Knights of the Old Republic was a fantastic Star Wars game back on
what's
Xbox.
the Disney Inc. one, right? There was that.
Epic Mickey.
Yeah, and then there was what's the one with all the characters that I'd never really played?
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people love Kingdom Hearts.
So the problem with Kingdom Hearts is it is at its core like a Final Fantasy game with Disney characters thrown in, and the story is just like anyone who's played it, the story is just off the rails. Like it's so hard to follow.
My wife really likes that Animal Crossing Disney game that they made.
Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah, she plays that a lot. I always want to say Starlight Valley. I don't know why, but it's Dreamlight Valley. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, right? It's based pretty much Animal Crossing.
It's pretty much Animal Crossing with Disney characters. Yeah.
So I guess, like I said, this is the thing. It's not that I'm not paying attention to Disney games, but it's like I see them, and a lot of them, it's like I'll pass on this because
I'm not really paying attention unless there's like a MOBA Disney game, like which would be awesome. Like I'm kind of out. Like that's really
I don't know if they'd ever want to
League of Legends.
I don't know if they'd ever want to get into that space because MOBA games can be very toxic, and I don't think Disney wants to
stay away from
very
that.
Toxic isn't even the word. Like
Beyond
sometimes I just have to like tap out. I'm just like, dude, you guys are crazy.
I'm being nice about it because we are a PG podcast.
Yeah. So I would say though that like the interesting part about like just those games in general though, they do bring a hardcore audience, right? The same thing with EverQuest. Like when you went from EverQuest to World of Warcraft and there wasn't this huge penalty for, dying in the game, and it changed the game. But those people that played EverQuest, like I said, I was in that in the beginning in beta, and those people, like, you were all diehards for that game. Same way that they're kind of diehards for like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing from Disney that has that, like this diehard, like Smash Brothers. I mean,
I feel like Kingdom Hearts had that, but they haven't made out Kingdom Hearts in such a long time. Like, because I knew some people that were really obsessed with Kingdom Hearts, but they haven't done one in a long time, right? I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, and the last couple of iterations of it were really stretching.
I never played any of them.
Yeah,
not one.
I stopped after 3 because
Kingdom Hearts definitely had a following, though. That had a following, for sure.
It did, yeah.
But
so I guess this is the thing is, it's, like that Indiana Jones game, it's nice to see them doing stuff and trying things. But to your point, Damon, I don't know how Disney can get something that sticks, right? Because
it's hard to do, though. Too.
And you know what?
It is. Yeah.
What's really rough about this, and again, I hate to say this, but Indiana Jones does not have this huge following.
Yeah.
Not anymore. No. It has fallen off, unfortunately. And they are trying to bring it back. I will give Disney credit that they are trying to relight that.
But
for
how?
Like a new generation, yeah.
But how though? I think we need a series at that point. Like
new.
I didn't see the last movie, so I don't know how it ended. I'm assuming Harrison Ford, though, handed it off to somebody else. I haven't even seen the movie. I'm just going to guess that.
He got stabbed by Chewie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. I just totally mixed the wrong. Yeah.
But I wonder if maybe a series.
So you're saying like what Disney's been doing with like Marvel and with Star Wars, where they're making like kids oriented shows with those properties? Is that what you're saying?
No,
because they kind of have that. They have like a kids version of Indiana Jones, but it's not Indiana Jones.
No, I'm saying like an actual Indiana Jones series on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like a live action or an animated?
Oh yeah, live action.
Okay.
Live action.
And you just you're casting a new Indiana Jones at that point?
I don't know how the movie ended, so I can't really speak on that.
I mean,
I'm sure there's something.
Indiana Jones. He's way too old. He shouldn't have been doing this one.
I mean, they tried to do the handoff in Crystal Skull as well, so I'm sure they're like I said, I haven't watched the new one yet either, but I'm sure they're going to try and do that. And you're right. It can't just be Harrison Ford and rehashing that stuff, because there's only like, it has to be the Indiana Jones universe, which the problem is that once you call it that, like you're really rebranding it to something else, right?
Well,
And
what
at that
really is
point-
the Indiana Jones universe? It's just regular universe, right?
Just Indiana Jones.
well, it's not. It's a fantasy version of like,
but it's way closer than any of their other IPs. I feel like.
yeah. I mean, it's grounded in like some sort
historical,
of but everything he deals with is like supernatural craziness, right? Like,
Yeah. I listen. I could also see. I could see them rebooting it too, right? Like just completely rebooting it and starting it over again. Because like, I mean, but the problem is, I don't know if they can do it really. I just, like you said, Indiana Jones is just not a big thing anymore. It's kids don't know it. It's not. I mean, I didn't feel a need to go see it. And truthfully, I think I've seen the first one like a bunch of times, but the other ones I think I've maybe seen once each. Like, I'm not a huge Indiana Jones guy. It's kind of the same thing with Star Wars, where I'm not a big Star Wars guy. I like Star Wars. It's fine. I'm a casual fan, but I'm really a casual Indiana Jones fan too, I would say.
you know, Tomb Raider's gotten a couple of reboots. So I think you're right that they could actually just reboot it.
Well, who do you want to see as Indiana Jones, though? That's the question, right? Like,
well, and that's the problem, is that a reboot has to stand on its own 2 feet. It can't just rehash what's been done. And
because if you make it an Indiana Jones property, you set a certain expectation, right? Like, people are going to expect a certain thing, right? But like you said, if you put it in that universe, right? Like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't just keep retelling the same stories. You know, like that's I think that's Disney's biggest problem, and that's kind of why it hurts them in the game industry as well, is that they do love rehashing things sometimes, and especially in games, people get tired of stuff pretty quick. Like, after you've seen the same formula like 4 or 5 times, you're just not interested. Disney needs to stop doing that too. Like, they need somebody truly creative doing their games as much as their, you know, any of their IP generation. Like, it's a hard one. Like, it's not that I hate Disney games, but Disney needs to step up their game if they want me to play their games.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. So then the other question we got is from Jeremy, who wants to know, well, first of all, Jeremy, you said you guys have been doing this for like 5 years. It's actually 6 years. This coming April, we've been doing it for 6 years. I
thought last year was 6 years.
No, it's 6 years. No. I think it was 2018, wasn't it? Or was it 2017?
Yeah, no, it was 2018. You're right. So, okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm good at that.
I thought it was. I could be wrong. No, I think it was 2018, yeah. And he said, but you began as strangers. Are you real friends, quote, real friends now? Like, if you're planning a big wedding, would you all invite each other? I mean, I've hung out with Damon a couple times outside of the show, and I frequently do VR games with Trevor. So we've been doing that quite a bit, especially recently. I mean, literally just on Friday night, Trevor and I were playing mini golf.
We play mini golf. So
we play mini golf a lot.
I mean, I play mini golf with a lot of my friends. So you're right in there with my friends. Absolutely.
Yeah. And we've sent we send each other stuff. And I know our wives occasionally will chat too. So
that's true. Our wives would become friends, even though, which, I mean, the fact that we live so far away does say something. Yeah. And I mean, so Jeremy's saying, like, if we're planning a wedding, would we invite each other? I mean, absolutely, I would invite you.
I'd invite you guys.
Wait, we're onto the wedding thing?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I had to step away a sec.
Well,
I figured you guys would still be talking about video games. So
no. We went on to the next question. Jeremy was.
Did you like walk away?
No.
Yeah, I said I got to step away a sec.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
I said it in chat.
Okay.
No, I said it in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not looking at chat. Okay, sorry, my bad.
Sorry, I caught that. Sorry, I should have. I didn't. I assumed that you saw it as well, Tom.
No, I totally missed it. No, so Jeremy was asking if we were like real friends, and if we were planning a big wedding, would we invite each other? And I was saying that I've hung out with you outside of the show, Damon, a couple times, and do stuff with Trevor, and I mean, I would think so. I don't know what wedding I would have, though. I mean, we're all married. I mean,
you're asking when I invite you guys to my kid's wedding?
I don't know. I wouldn't expect you to invite your kid's wedding.
Like, I mean, not like in a mean way, but
that's like your kid's wedding. But I
wouldn't expect you to invite us to that. No.
Yeah. No.
I mean, if like we were having an event, like if I was having a personal party at my house for some reason,
like a birthday party or something, yeah.
I mean, a birthday party.
Even has to think about that.
I don't. I don't know. It's weird. Like I mean, I would hang out with you guys, but like the wedding birthday party thing is kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't even seen Trevor yet. I don't really think Trevor
That's true.
exists.
And
He's
also,
just
yeah,
AI.
The hard part is me and Damon have not physically hung out or anything, but yeah, Tom and I have spent enough time together that you know, and I wouldn't be hurt if you didn't invite me to your super wedding, Damon. I wouldn't be mad.
I mean, would it meet them all in Disney for a trip? Absolutely.
We've been talking about doing that for a long time. We've just never been able to coordinate it because we've all.
It is really hard.
It's hard. It's very.
It is difficult. It would just have to be like the problem is getting Trevor's family out for a short time is where it becomes difficult. Like me and Tom could just do a weekend.
It would almost be like, Damon, you and I would have to plan ourselves around a already existing vacation for Trevor and his family, right? Like,
and then why would he want that?
Yeah, why would he want us on his vacation?
Yeah, like it's not like you're going. So if you're going to Disney 10 times a year, like who cares? Yeah. But if you're going once a year, like you really want us there for 2 days, like probably not.
But I have met up with I have online friends that I've known them for like 8 or 9 years now, and we met up in Disney, and there was actually like 9 of us that met up. So
I have friends from EverQuest, like 20 years ago that I've met up with. Absolutely, I've been to their house, and you're part of the woods there, buddy. Canada.
Yeah, but we actually met up in Disney. So to your point about would I take time to meet up with you at Disney, I absolutely would, even if I had a trip. Like I wouldn't be like, no, sorry, I'm too busy on my personal family trip. I would absolutely meet up.
I think that's where it probably needs to happen, but I don't think I'm going to Disney again into 26.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fair. Like,
I mean, I think that's the trip that needs to be planned, the 2026 Disney trip.
Far off. It's like,
yeah, but I feel like that gives us ample time. I mean, and listen, I could get Trevor maybe to come to Universal, but I don't know if I could get Tom to come to Universal in 20.
I am totally down for.
I might be doing 2 weeks at Universal in 2025. Like I think
full weeks.
I think I might. I think I might. It might be like a blowout vacation. Like, and I would definitely be all in for people coming for sure.
Yeah.
I'm so on the fence about Universal or sorry, like new Super Nintendo World. Like I want it to be good, but I feel like it's not going to meet my expectations. So
it probably won't. But if that was the only thing, it would be different. But there's new Harry Potter ride. There's new How to Train Your Dragon.
I don't even know any details about any of those, though. I mean,
well, there's a huge coaster coming, right? That's for sure. That's going to link all the lands together, and that thing's going to be big.
I'm not going to lie, though. It looks a little like Six Flags to me. Like that, it's just a coaster.
I'm not even gonna try to. No,
I'm just saying it's just a coaster. There's like theming at the queue, and that's it. Like, is there other?
That coaster is just supposed to link all the lands, right?
Yeah,
like,
I'm just saying, that's not what I'm used to seeing from them or from Disney. Is like just a coaster. You just threw a coaster.
Well, of course you are, because the radio, what is that called again? It's their version of the radio coaster. The rock, like. It's got the songs playing. I forget the name.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
about. But that has almost no theme except music.
Yeah, it's just a coaster. Yeah, but that's like to me, that's Six Flags level stuff. Like that's not Universal
like
or Disney
on steroids.
No, it's a real coaster.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to say that because you haven't. Like again, I'm more interested. I think even outside of the Nintendo Land, to be honest, I'm more interested in the new Harry Potter ride. That's supposed to be at the Ministry of Magic, which I think will be ridiculous. And the Universal Monsters, I think it's a little bit of a new kind of thing, right? Like it's gonna be monsters. Like what does that mean, right? Is it gonna be adult? Is it gonna be scary? Like I'm just kind of on board for that. And I think it made
horror nights all year round.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be like that. I wonder if having something like that allows Disney to go a little bit more into their villains, right? When they see what Universal does in terms of like, does this work as a family thing as well?
To your point, I think that they were still a little burned from back in the day from Alien Encounter, right? Like what happened with that? Like they tried to do that and then that did not go well.
So I'm kind of curious to see how this new Universal Monsters Land goes, and it may lend itself to some good Disney stuff, right? The thing is, the competition between the two of them is only good for everybody at the end of the day.
Absolutely. It means more for all, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
that really got like on a side train from Would We Hang Out?
yeah, that's true. But no, listen, I'm not opposed to going to Universal. I mean, I definitely think they're putting some cool things in. Like that Donkey Kong coaster looks pretty cool. I mean, like the way that they're
2026. Let's do it.
Yeah, the fact that they've got the track jumping on it is.
Wait, is it 26 or 25?
I thought it was opening in 25.
Oh, then I'm there 2 weeks in 25. My bad. You're right.
Yeah, but I don't. Who knows when in 25? It is kind of interesting though how little we really know about like the rides and attractions that are going to be there. Like they really haven't shared much about it. It's been pretty.
There's enough out
quiet.
there. I mean, some of it may be conjecture, but there's if you go look and there's some information.
I will say too that the friend of mine that works for Universal Creative said that everything that's online is true about the project.
Yeah, I have been seeing more posting about it lately. Like there is definitely more info coming out.
You have to go follow those people to get the info. I feel like it doesn't like this for whatever reason. It doesn't just show up out there. You kind of know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
2025 though. That's I forgot because this year is the cruise in Dollywood, and then the next year I think we're just doing that trip, just one trip to Universal. That's it. So I want to go for a little bit. I don't want to also, but you know how it is when there's new stuff. Like I don't want to be rushed and I don't want to be stressed. So I feel like if I go for like even a week and a half, it will be a lot easier to kind of just mellow through some of the stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you won't feel rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's move on.
Wilderness cabins.
Why are you so down on this?
Because, dude, I don't want dogs. The whole reason I moved out of my other neighborhood was barking dogs. I don't want barking dogs on my vacation. Like I'd be just
there's only going to be
don't stay at Fort Wilderness.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Yeah, but so you know what we're getting now. We do have official price point charts. So we were speculating on this last week or the week before.
Yeah.
Based on DVC News doing the math here, and so the fact that they're pricing these as low as 15 per night that's pretty low for how the size of these cabins, right? So I think that's going to make them pretty appealing to a lot of people because you're going to be able to. I mean, again, as long
as you don't need to pee a lot, you'll be fine.
Well, yeah, as long as you don't mind squeezing 6 people into a.
That's college days. 6 people, 1 bathroom. Like that just doesn't sound great.
You did it.
You walk to the public washroom if you really need to.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you're also in the woods too, David. So there's options. there's options. If the bathroom's occupied.
Please do not take this as us giving advice on to do that.
Yeah, I think the dogs and the pee situation is just it's not working for me. But I think the pricing is good.
Yeah, the pricing is good. I will be interested to see. And by the way, the other part of this is we did find out they're going to open on July 1st, which is kind of amazing considering I don't think one of them has been placed yet. But you know, at the same time, they're going to build them offsite and they're going to be prefab, right? So I guess they can do it pretty quickly.
I think they're already well underway if that's the case, and you're just going to see them all get dumped into that location.
Quickly. Yeah. Because I mean, they'll probably be able to do several a day. I would think. You know, I mean, and just bring those in.
I'm betting in probably by about March, you're going to start seeing photos of these things going down the highway on the back of trailers.
That is kind of going to be funny. Yeah,
I'm saying it. You know, people will start taking photos. Here's the new cabins coming in on a trailer. Like, yeah, it's going to happen here in the next month or two.
So interestingly enough, Trevor, you know, we said this on 2 podcasts ago. We thought that they were going to break the points out by view or location, and they actually ended up not doing that. So, which I'm surprised by. I really thought that they were going to go that route, but they didn't. So they're all the same. So you might it's probably going to be one of those request things, right? Where you want request closer to transportation, request closer to amenities or whatever. You know. Yeah,
but then everyone's going to be vying for those ones right next to the
boat launch, probably. Yeah, probably.
But maybe it's better that is a bit of a round robin thing, right? Like,
you're not penalizing people by making them use more points, right? So
yeah, that's true.
So I mean, look, we've talked about this, quite a bit, and now we're getting even more details, and it looks like kind of the different, some higher costs are 16, 19 points during some higher cost periods, and then the most popular periods are going to be 18 points per weekday, 21 per weekend, so like the December time periods and things like that. But honestly, this is not bad. And like we said, this is, around a studio. It's pretty close to like, some of the nicer studios. And, you could fit 5 people in some of those studios, but this is definitely bigger. And I mean, I guess that's part of what you're getting, though, is a part of it being a value or moderate DVC resort is it's kind of cheaper, right?
Yeah.
I guess how I'm looking at it.
Yeah. Like you're getting like almost a 1-bedroom for the price of a studio.
Kind of. Yeah.
But then you're sacrificing like the location's not great either. Like it's not that it's bad, but it's, it's not the equivalent of like getting like something like right next to Epcot, like Boardwalk or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you want to buy it, though, I mean, if you want like
it's a fair
wilderness thing, yeah. I mean, I know Damon's worried about barking dogs, but I think if you're going to Fort Wilderness, you're kind of expecting some barking dogs, I think.
Yeah.
So, because people can just bring their dogs. And they also do say here, too, that only certain cabins are going to be allowed to have dogs. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be, maybe they'll have those all in the same kind of area. But we'll see. We'll see what that looks like.
Yeah. And to your point, Damon, it's keeping everybody with their dogs at Fort Wilderness, so you won't see them at any of the other resorts. So,
no man, dog barking carries though, goes far.
They had some pretty heavy rules though on dog barking though. I think we talked about it when a show you were on, Damon, where they were like, you can't leave your dog more than 7 hours at a time. If your dog is disruptive, we'll kick you out. Like it was pretty straight up rules on this, but who knows how well they're going to, how much they're going to enforce them. But I'm assuming if people are complaining about a dog barking all day, that they'll do something, But I guess we'll have to find out in practice when that starts happening. So, all right. So, okay. Damon, I know you want anything else with the cabins. I mean, so for those wondering about on sale date, DVC sales, direct sales for existing members, those start February 1st. So in a couple weeks here. And then for add-on points, Disney who have added-on points at the cabins can begin to book stays on February 15th. And then February 27th, sales will open to the general public. It will be interesting to see how this resort sells. Because I haven't seen anybody online be like, I'm definitely buying into the cabins. But I'm sure it will be somewhat of a popular option because I feel like people have been wanting this for a long time. I don't know.
There is definitely a market, and I'm sure it's not people vocally being like, I'm going to be the first in line for the cabins, but I can guarantee you there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to get into this right away.
Oh, no, I definitely agree. Agreed. All right, so nothing else about the cabins, right?
Yeah.
All right, Damon, you wanted to talk about this floor.
This HoloTile floor.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, I mean, it's, again, I know you guys are going to talk about it when you talk about the, Walt's Imagineer honor, whatever,
Lenny.
Right?
Lenny.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not concerned about all that. I'm concerned about this HoloTile floor and what it means. So there is a video that shows this floor where you can just kind of walk. And I think they've had something for VR back in the day that was not as...
It was kind of like bowl-shaped, right? It was like bowl-shaped, I feel like. Yeah, and
there's been a few iterations of this type of thing, yes.
So this is... It almost looks like it has rollers on it, but I doubt that's exactly what it is, where you can just walk in place and you don't go anywhere, which seems silly, but what it actually means is the ability to have a virtual world around you moving, right? Like kind of like holodeck, which is why they called it HoloTile, right? Like, and I think with this, it could usher in some actual new engagement factor that is kind of what I've been looking for. So this was something that's nice. Now, how far away something like this is, who the heck knows? But
what are they even going to use it for? That's
I think like remember that Moana thing? So what I had been talking about on Golden Buttons with Blake was, it wasn't even on our show. It was just, I think just in general, we were talking about it. And one of the things I was saying is that, that Moana patent, like now all of a sudden you could throw this boat in that ocean like that patent had, right, with the video around it, and you can make a real ride.
Yeah, so you're saying like you can make it so that you're not going anywhere. Well, when you wouldn't tell from the boat, but like you would. I mean, they could spin you around, and you can do all sorts of stuff.
You could have a boat ride that felt more like a boat on the ocean with video around it. I mean, but there's multiple other things obviously you could do. I just don't know if I see it as a one like person walking on it sort of thing. I think, right, just for the fact that it might be hard to do, and for certain people, but also the fact that I don't know how many people you can fit, right? Like I think, and then you're getting close to people. I think I envision it more with like a boat or something along those lines as a ride.
So, sorry, go ahead, Tom.
No, go.
Oh, okay, so the way I see it, that there's a few different applications for this. Like I know what you're saying, Damon, around specifically around like moving a ride vehicle. Mm-hmm. But I also see this as a way for, because like they were showing that it's not just a matter of the floor is letting you walk in place.
You can move.
They were also moving objects around on the floor.
Yeah, they actually can motorize it and like move it place.
Yeah, which gives to a really cool idea that you could be in like a walkthrough environment, and things could be moving around the room independently of you, and they can have them moving in such a way where they're not running into people, they're moving through people because everyone's getting tracked individually. So that's the other neat thing too, is that I think you're not going to necessarily see like a full ride encapsulation with this, but they can use it for other practical effects. I can also see like some of the stage shows and stuff they can do. Things where
definitely for the shows,
where actors are being moved around on the stage without an obvious like, oh, this guy is like shuffling across the stage or whatever. Like it's just like
I just think for individuals,
set pieces too. Yeah. Good.
I think for individuals walking on it as a ride, I just don't know if that's something that Disney would do.
So this is what I was just going to say, Damon. Like, as cool as that sounds, people have a hard time getting on and off escalators. So, like I'm just saying, like those moving walkways throw people for a loop sometimes. Can you imagine if they just stood somewhere and the floor started moving them? Some people would freak.
Yeah, the hard part was they showed like they had two people walking independently of one another on the floor,
which was so cool.
Yeah, and that to me is like, oh, imagine like a VR experience where you all go in, you put on the goggles,
like and then the Void, but doper.
Yeah, exactly. Right,
where you have to sign. Like if you're asking me if I got to sign away some rights to do it, like I'm down, right? Like, and that's where I think the Void was kind of cool. Like, yeah, you got to sign a sheet that said, hey, if I trip because I tripped, then that's on me. Like,
if I run into a wall and break my nose, my fault.
My fault.
And that's exactly the point there, Tom, is that, how many people don't have good balance, right? Like, because it's not just a matter of this thing is, moving you around. Like some people, it's like watching people with those hoverboards, right? Like, and it just goes catastrophically wrong when it's like, you just have to balance yourself on this thing. Having an entire floor doing that, I can see. The funniest thing I can envision is somebody like falling and the floor like carrying them away, like out of the room.
Yeah, just like pushing them off to like it takes them directly to Disney First Aid. Like it
they just fall and it just drags them out of the room. It's like, okay,
all right, that person's gone now. Let's continue on. Yeah. It's interesting though. The one thing there's a part of the video where the guy that invented it is sitting on like a little chair, and then there's a guy that looks like he's controlling him with his hand. Right? Yeah. Like he's got his hand out, and I'm thinking to myself, like, that feels very like like Force Star Wars kind of thing. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if you could like stand there and like Darth Vader comes out and then like, he like pushes you back with the Force and all of a sudden you move backwards. Right? Like it just looks like a regular floor and you actually move backwards. You know what I mean?
That would be a neat effect. Yeah.
That would be so cool. But I don't know what application you use that in. And again, some people, you start falling backwards, somebody might panic and then fall on their face, So
I was also thinking, and again, like to the point about this is hard to do with multiple people, but like in the Haunted Mansion movie where like the hallway stretches away, like they're walking down the hallway and the hallway's getting longer. Like you could do a really cool effect like that, where it's like you're walking down a hallway and it either like stretches away or it snaps closer to you, but like you actually physically get moved down the hallway, right? So yeah, there is cool things like that, but again, the problem is I don't see, or somebody is gonna bail on this, and then that's gonna bring its own set of issues with it. Yeah,
I mean, there was just that new Zootopia ride they had. Like the first day it was open, somebody jumped out of the ride vehicle and got hit by one. Like even when you have restraint,
that's just people, that is just pure stupidity.
I mean, it is, but it was a kid, I guess. I don't know how old the kid was, but it was reportedly a kid that dropped their ears and then they jumped out. But like, again, you like,
oh my God.
I know.
Okay.
Where are the parents? And like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, it's hard because I also understand Disney is risk averse, right? And they get sued all the time for nonsense. Like, I remember that one a while ago where there was someone was walking around Animal Kingdom and like a snake fell out of a tree and it like bit the lady, and then Disney like sued sued Disney. It's like, snakes just live in Florida, man. Like, you're gonna find snake. Like, Disney can't prevent snakes from coming out. Like,
it wasn't a trained snake.
Yeah, so it was part of a show and it attacked them. They get sued for that kind of stuff all the time. Like, so they're I understand why they're risk averse, like, and why they don't want to do stuff. But like, there's a lot of cool uses for this. I mean, and I also just can't. I've been watching this video and like watching it close up the floor. I cannot figure out how this works in any way. And he's just wearing regular shoes by the way too. It's like weird.
Yeah, it is weird how it, like you said, it's not like they're not like balls. Like it looks like it has like a flat surface on it, but then it's like the way that it's moving. I feel like it's almost the same way that like a snake moves. Like if you watch how snakes move, they kind of like, it's very odd. The other thing it reminds me of too, like you're talking about the like Star Wars Force thing. Yeah, I'm getting very Big Hero 6 vibes from this.
Oh,
like the nanobots like moving around. Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah, it's very nanobot-esque. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, great. We're going to have like some supervillain with nanobots like taking over the world now.
I actually, I decided that I was going to try to pull up some of this guy's patents because I want to figure out how this thing works now. Because I'm assuming he patented this. He's the guy that invented it. So, I'm sure we can find it somewhere.
I guess. Would it be publicly available at this point? Or
I mean, it might be. I don't know if they published it yet. So depends.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Like I said, I'm absolutely like excited. Like Damon, I'm excited to see what the potential applications for this are, but I think the first thing we're going to see, just like the because the same guy did the lightsaber, right?
Yeah, this is the same guy.
Talking about, and that lightsaber has only been used by cast members. Like, it's not.
So I figured out how it worked. Vibration. So the patent, you can look at the patent for it too.
I've been trying to look it up. Yeah, I've been trying to look it up.
I'm just better at that than you, Tom. It's okay.
Well, I'm also trying to,
He's also running the show.
Anyway, it works on vibration as how it moves things, which is pretty cool.
Interesting, because it doesn't look like it's vibrating at all. Like, it must be like really small vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. That's very
controller of the mode. Yeah, the patent's actually pretty neat to actually read through.
Yeah.
But it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
All right. Anything else you want to mention about that?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Are we losing you now, Damon?
What?
Are we losing you yet, or are you staying?
Yeah, I figured you were going to ask me about you were going to make some comment to the bucket hat, so I figured I'd just get in front of that and be like,
what, the new merch?
Yeah, it's not. I don't like it. So.
I'm not a fan of it either. Actually, I put it on here mostly so I could make fun of it. So
yeah, I mean,
it's under Brave New World items.
10 eye-catching Brave New World. I don't want to make fun of it. It's very colorful, and it's not my style, right? Like, it's not something I...
Oh, that is so 90s.
It's very 90s. They're doing a very 90s throwback thing, I feel like, for 2024. Wait, was there a bucket hat in there? Oh, I do see the bucket hat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damon, I would pay to see you wear that bucket hat.
I mean, I would wear it. I just don't like the look of it. I mean, I'll wear anything. I don't really care. That doesn't really bother me. But I just don't love it.
It's definitely a bold design, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's weird that they said 10 things, though. I feel like I don't see 10 things in here, but I guess some of the pictures have multiple things. I guess if they want to get away with that, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, because I started scrolling down. I'm like, there's only like 5 pictures here.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess they're showing 2 things per, but it's very, this isn't like neon. It's like, I don't even know what the color palette is.
It reminds me of like Easter eggs. It's very like pastel
neon.
Yeah. It's like a bright pastel thing. So yeah, I don't know. It looks fine. I mean, like, listen, I'm sure it's going to have its audience, right? But
yeah, I see they're doing a sling bag. That's
It has a USB charger port on the outside, charging port on the outside, which is nice. That's a nice.
I'm not opposed to that, but like Damon, it's just a little too busy. Like I wouldn't.
A lot.
Yeah,
It looks like the Dooney and Burke
it.
bags. It looks like those Dooney and Burke bags, but like those kinds of very cluttered, like.
Yeah, but
patterns.
you cranked up the saturation to 100 on it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so that's all I have for that part. I saw that and I was like, whoa, that's a lot. We'll post pictures. So why don't we talk about Flower and Garden is on the way because as we all know, Festival of the Arts only lasts for like 6 weeks, although Trevor will be there. But Flower and Garden is a little bit of a longer one. We've got February 28th to March 27th. So that's a full 90 days. It's a little bit longer. Nothing's as long as Food and Wine, of course. But I will say Flower and Garden is a really good festival at Epcot. I do like that festival a lot. There's some cool things there.
You said March 27th. It's May 27th.
Did I say March?
Yeah, just so nobody panics.
Sorry, I thought I said May. So yeah, it's February 28th through May 27th. Sorry. So they've got some new topiaries, which listen, the topiaries are always like one of the like highlights, of course, of for me anyway. Like because I always look at them and be like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like how do you do that? So I'm just looking at this group one, which I'm assuming is going to be somewhere near the Guardians ride, right?
I would hope so.
Oh yeah, it says it actually says it will appear near Cosmic Rewind. So should just
let's put it in the France Pavilion.
Kind of random. No, I like it though. I think it's cool. I feel like Groot lends himself well to this. I think it'd be cooler if Groot was made out of actual branches. I'm assuming it kind of looks like it's going to be made out of
fiberglass thing with the So Groot looks like he's going to be like a fiberglass sculpture with the topiary on top, which is the cassette.
Yeah, exactly. So so that's cool. I mean, they only showed the one new topiary, right? And they haven't mentioned let's see. There's a one from the Wish thing, and then there's Miguel and Dante from Coco. So those are cool. Oh, and then also Figment, of course. So it's got to be Figment.
Yeah,
Figmentopia.
The standard ones.
Yeah.
Your standard topiaries.
Topiaries. And then we have the Garden Rocks concert series coming back. They haven't announced the full lineup yet, but they did announce a couple. And I think I know like two of these bands, maybe. Modern English,
and Lit. I know Lit.
Those are the only two I know, I think.
Yeah.
Crowder. I don't know what Crowder is, and I don't know what this other one is.
Monsieur Purin.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. And then Raul Acosta and Oro Solido. Don't know who that is.
And Magic Wand.
Yeah, Magic Wand, which is a great name.
All right.
But yeah, so that's happening. And then, of course, there's going to be lots of food. I'm just looking at a couple of these pictures already, and I'm hungry and I want to eat all of it. I mean, is that like a chicken and waffle thing on the top there? Is that what that is?
I can't even tell.
All I know is that it looks drenched in something honey based, and I want to eat it.
It looks like it's got something deep fried on top.
Yeah, listen. It just looks like all kinds of delicious. That's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, it is. It does say chicken. We just have to read ahead of time. That's all.
Maybe.
Chicken and waffles at the Honey Bistro. So it is chicken and waffles.
I think it's more fun if we don't. We just guess on what this stuff is.
There's also that. Yeah. There's also that. So, and so that's a good preview for right now. Oh, there's also a bucket hat in here too. Another bucket hat for Damon, a Coco themed one, which is kind of cool. Not bad.
I think that one's a little better. The color palette's nicer.
It is
than
I agree.
The other one. Yeah,
and of course all the Orange Bird stuff. Everybody, Orange Bird is the mascot. So, all right. So let's see what else we got to talk about here, Trevor. Well, okay. So we were just talking about this guy. So why we brought up they showed the whole HoloTile thing was because this Disney Imagineer, his name is Lanny Smoot. He's getting inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame because he has 120 patents, or over 100 patents. I thought I saw 120, but it says over 100 patents.
Yeah, I thought it was like 106 or something like that.
Okay, so it's 100. Yeah. He just received his 100th patent, I guess, and probably maybe he has 6 more filed. But 74 of those patents were created at Imagineering. So this guy has been with Imagineering for 25 years. He is somebody that contributed to the Madame Leota effect. Like, this dude's been around a long time. What's really interesting to me, though, Trevor, is the thing he submitted as his patent for the Hall of Fame was the "Where's the Fire" attraction at Innoventions, which I vaguely remember, but I don't remember
fire.
Yeah. I don't remember something cool about it, but he says guests were able to shine a special flashlight device on the walls of a house. And with the technology, they were able to spot fire dangers and learn to prevent these from happening in the future. That's the one he decided to submit, which is interesting because I don't really remember that one. I remember "Where's the Fire," but I don't know if I ever actually did it, you know?
Okay, I need to look this up now. Because...
yeah. So, listen.
So it was a game.
It was like a game, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's also done. I mean, he worked on the Finding Nemo submarine voyage. He's won a bunch of things.
In the video, I saw something about he had made electromagnetic eyes, which by themselves were very creepy. But yeah, I see where I see where putting them into an animatronic. It gives that very real, like the eyes are actually moving almost like freely, like eyes do, instead of like a very forced movement.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's done a lot. Like I guess this is the thing is, a lot of the stuff that Imagineers do, it's not always like the HoloTile floor is a great example of something big, but they're always doing little things. And like Lanny's a great example that, even outside of these big things, he's always finding ways to improve the experience just through like things like eyeball movement, right?
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
It does show the attention the attention to detail that goes into some of the work that they do that we sometimes forget about for Imagineers, right? It's like they're not just like working on the next big ride all the time.
Yeah,
it's everything in the parks, right?
He works in the research division, right? So like they invent all kinds of stuff that they may never use, right? Like they're the ones that are constantly putting out patents, and like they invented that Spider-Man robot thing that at the time I don't think that they actually knew what they were going to do with it. They were just messing around with robots, and and that's where like all of these freestanding robots are coming from, is their research division. This guy also worked on the real lightsaber too, and I say the real lightsaber, we all know it's not an actual lightsaber, the realistic looking lightsaber. Yes,
the one that they love showing off, but they only have used on the Star Cruiser.
On the Star Cruiser, yeah. Well, because I mean, obviously, it's probably, as we talked about before, if they gave it to actual people to buy, it would probably get wrecked pretty quickly. It doesn't seem like it's something that you can actually use for.
Oh, yeah, like guaranteed
for fighting, right? Like, and nobody's ever. I mean, I'll say
nobody who's ever picked up a lightsaber has not swung it at something.
Yes, that's what I mean. You don't even need to say lightsaber. I mean, if I pick up like a paper towel, tube, I sword fight with my daughter with it. Like it's not. Yes. It's anytime you have a thing that's vaguely like a sword, you end up sword fighting. So
you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So, but listen, it is a very cool looking lightsaber, and so it's definitely a cool achievement, because I feel like when people saw that went like super viral and people were freaking out about it. So, but anyway, yeah. So congrats to this guy. Not one of those big names that you hear like the Joe Rohdes of the world and all that stuff. He's more of a behind the scenes guy, but it's nice that he's getting his due, right?
I'm watching this. I'm watching the Where's the Fire game right now. So it very much looks like a Wii or a Nintendo Wii type game.
Because you're like pointing with like a
yeah, but it seems like the way it's designed. It's almost like you've got like a flashlight with an X-ray capability to it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very neat. So I can see why he submitted it, because it like visually it's very impressive.
I do have to say that is one of the things I miss from New Epcot. I used to really love the rotating exhibits at Innoventions,
Yeah.
Like there were so many cool things. I mean, I remember I rode a Segway at Innoventions back in like 2005. You know, like
I did that too.
Yeah, right. And it was like the coolest thing at the time, right? Like, I mean, they used to just have these rotating things there, and you know, it's just it's sad, but I understand like that it just wasn't sustainable for them to keep rotating things in and out like that. So, and then Epcot became about more than like, you know, the latest innovation, I should say. You know, it's the Tomorrowland problem again, right? It's like you put all that stuff in there, and by the time you put it in there, the technology's already out of date, and it's, you know, it looks bad that it's out of date, right? So I think that's why they decided to kind of move on from that. But yeah,
you know what? The more I'm watching, so I'm still watching this video. Where's the Fire was a precursor to Toy Story Midway Mania.
Oh, okay. So like that was the iteration before that. Like, is that?
Yeah. Like as I'm watching, I realize because you're literally going from screen to screen, and it's like different environments. But I think this was probably their testing ground for Midway Mania. Like because that's where I said, I'm like, this looks like a Wii game, but Midway Mania did come out on the Wii eventually. I think this was Lanny's first crack at it, and then it got turned into a full ride. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
A full game, I guess. And you're saying the full ride of okay.
Yeah, the ride and the game. It's yeah. So he iterated on it, and because you know, looking for fire safety stuff is kind of boring, but Midway Mania is, you know, way more fun, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. You know, I actually think this would have been very enjoyable to go and try it. Like I said, the problem with Interventions was, like you said, it was so they were cycling stuff out. Like it was literally like if you happened to be there at the right time, you got to see this stuff. But you know, otherwise, it's gone forever. Which I don't like that either. Like you know, it's cool seeing all the new stuff, but the problem is that they can't keep the good stuff around so that you can experience it, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's true. I agree. All right, so I put food on here, but only because you're actually going to get to eat this food because you're going to be there on Valentine's Day, right?
I am.
Or around Valentine's Day?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, in our household, we do not put a lot of steak.
I was going to say, you're going to be in trouble here, Trevor, if you don't. You know.
No, I'm not, because so I'm sorry to anybody that feels Valentine's Day is a big thing, but my wife and I, like many, many years ago, agreed that Valentine's Day is not like it's a reason to sell overpriced roses. Yeah. Is what we see. So it's like, I guess, you know, it's great that there's going to be a lot of this pink and red stuff there, but I'm not going to be hunting for any of it necessarily.
Yeah, they've got 55-gallon drums of red food coloring just at the ready for this.
Yeah. Well, this is at Disney Springs. There is stuff.
No, there's stuff at the park. So a lot of it's at the resort hotels. They have like a moose cake, the zebra moose cake. I'm just looking at some different things here. If there's anything that catches my eye, I'm liking this Mickey chocolate bites right there. These chocolate with caramel crisp pearls and solid 65% dark chocolate and solid milk chocolate. That's like right up my alley, man. I would eat those I love chocolate. I'm a big chocolate guy, but I know not everybody is. So.
Mm-hmm. Let me see what's at the Poly. Oh, so Stitch and Angel date night cupcakes. So
there you go.
Vanilla cupcakes with chocolate and peanut butter mousse filling. So chocolate and peanut butter, and then peanut butter and jelly.
It's pretty basic. Peanut butter and jelly is probably good. I'm just saying most of that's pretty basic.
Yeah, I'm good to skip. Ooh, hello. All right.
Okay. Well, what did you just jump on that you are?
Pineapple and I has a Dole Whip raspberry.
There you go.
Oh, it's with Rosa Regal sparkling red.
Not a fan.
I want that. No. I'll just see if I can get the raspberry Dole Whip. They
also have a float too over at Sunshine Terrace that's Fanta strawberry passion fruit flavor served with Dole Whip orange and topped with pumpkin candy. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I would have that. That sounds pretty tasty, actually.
Okay, maybe I'll be stopping by Sunshine Tree because I
usually walk by. I just feel like you always do, right?
I don't because the thing is that most of what they sell like the swirl, which I don't want the ice cream. I want just the
you just want
I want the non-dairy stuff. So I always go over to Aloha Isle. I don't usually stop at Sunshine Tree.
Yeah, no,
But,
that's
yeah, I might have to try this.
there you go. See, we found a
All right.
thing.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Strawberry crunch popcorn looks pretty good too, actually.
That is a lot of red. Like,
It is a lot of it. I mean, this is like one of those situations where if you give this to your kid, that like their face is just going to be covered in red food coloring. Like, yeah. I mean, any of these things really. But
I'll let you know. I'm gonna keep an eye out for how many kids have like
just red faces,
red smears down their shirt from wiping.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's always a tough one.
Yeah. Red stains down the nice white Disney shirt, right?
Yeah, that actually happened with my daughter the last time we went. We went and got ice cream, and she was wearing like this like cute like Disney Parks dress that we had gotten her, and it was like white, but then it had a bunch of patterns on it, and she's eating chocolate ice cream and just drops a whole big glop of it right on her chest, and so like the rest of the day she just had this big brown stain on her chest. I mean, that's what happens. It's what happens with kids, right? I mean, it happens with me sometimes too. I'm not I tend to drop things on myself, so
yeah, I guess I shouldn't claim that I'm any better, because if I was given a bowl of red popcorn, I would probably have some on my shirt somewhere.
Anything else on here jump out to you that you want?
No, I mean, like I said, I'm actually going to stop by Sunshine Tree Terrace, I think.
There you go.
It says it's currently available, so
it is.
I guess I could get it. I could get it the first day I'm there. I don't have to wait for Valentine's.
You don't have to. Most of these are available February 1st through 14th. There are some that are available a little bit longer. I'm not seeing any that are exclusive to Valentine's Day. It looks like most of these are for a couple weeks. So
no, in Epcot at Connections Cafe, the Valentine's Day bomb cushion with chocolate and strawberry layers is available only on Valentine's
only for the
Day.
one day. Okay.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
I don't.
Do I have to Google this word?
Yeah.
Okay, let's Google this word. It's a type of. Okay, it's a cake. Okay. All right.
Like a donut cake.
It does look like a donut cake. Is it where we don't have a picture of it though, right? So
no, not of that one. I just searched for a general picture of a Baumkuchen, and
Baumkuchen's a fun word to say. Why don't we go ahead and wrap up then? I don't think we have anything else, unless there's anything on here that you want to mention.
No. Yeah, like I said, we'll be next week. I'll be talking more about our upcoming trip, and yeah, and I think I'm good for this week. I think we covered everything that we wanted to talk about this week.
Yeah, there was not a ton of news this past week, so we got what we got. So
it was good stuff, though. I will admit the Hollow Floor was definitely a highlight this week when I saw it.
Very cool.
I was like, that is. If you haven't checked out the video, make sure go have a look. Disney Parks did post the video of Lanny demoing the Hollow Floor. So
all I can see while he's doing it, by the way, is like somebody moonwalking on that in a really cool way, right? Like
how would you couldn't?
You could moonwalk in place.
Well, yeah, but
and still look like
it would look like a moonwalk though.
I mean, you could make it look like you're moving but not moving, like, because it always brings you back to the same spot. So
right. The whole point of a moonwalk though is it creates the illusion that you're sliding.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how cool would it be like if you did it a little bit forward and then it brought you back again, and like, I don't know. I think it would look.
You literally just have to like walk backwards and no, I don't know how that would work.
I don't know how it would work either, but that's what I kept imagining as he was doing it. So
actually, it would be you're walking forward, but the floor would be pushing you backwards.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it would look kind of weird, right? Because you would be trying to go forward, but then you'd be moving backwards.
Unless you were moonwalking, but it was pushing you forward. Not stationary, pushing. Okay.
It's the other way around. So you'd be going backwards, but it would be trying to push you forward, right? So yeah, I don't know. All right.
I can't wait to see what people do with this stuff. I think the potential is really high on this. So yeah.
All right.
Okay. So let's wrap this up here. As usual, if you guys want to reach out to us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love getting your questions and just talking to you guys because, we love Disney and we love hearing from you guys that you love Disney. So, keep the questions coming, like, ones we had at the beginning of the show. If you want to follow us on social media, you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. On Facebook, you can check out our group, Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. Like we said, we get listener questions from there. There's people that post memes in there, all kinds of stuff. So, join the group if you want to see what's going on and talk about Disney. So, please come check us out. And if you'd like to help support the show, you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and you can check out our different merch we got there. Maybe you need a shirt for your next trip to Disney. I've got my shirts lined up for Disney, so pick some up for yourself if you're looking to get some stuff to wear in the park. And we would love to see pictures as well. I love it when people share them wearing our merch in the park, because I still find it weird that I can say that I have merch that people wear at the parks, because that's still awesome. So cool. If you get a shirt, if you get a fanny pack, show it off. It doesn't have to be at the park either. Just love to
out
see
and about in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Also in that vein, we do have a Patreon. If you'd like to help support the show through Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod. You can check out our different levels of Patreon support, and Patreon subscribers there is exclusive merch there with a Patreon only logo that you can get. So if you want to get that, check it out on Patreon. And our Patreon listeners also get access to our Discord server, which is yet another place that we talk with our listeners and have great conversations about all the stuff going on at Disney. So again, if Discord is your thing, check that out. And last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. It does help more people find the show, because that's just how the internet works now. And we do love seeing your reviews on iTunes. So if you want to share some thoughts on the show, please leave us a review.
Yeah, I don't have any this week. There is a review that's out there, but it's not for this show.
Oh, it's about the golden button.
Yeah, it's about golden button. So I'm not going to
maybe. Well, that's up to Damon and Blake if they want to.
Yeah, if they want to read that
button.
Yeah, if they want to read that on Golden Button, they can.
Yeah.
Besides reviews, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, just about any podcast app that's out there. You can, listen to our show. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult a DVC representative or a Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no